Good morning, everyone. My name is Karim Abdelhalim, and these are my teammates, Marawan, Steve, Abdel Wahab, Karim Gemiey, uh, and Karen. Today, we're going to present to you our final demo about the application regarding the dog owner community. And we're going to show you how impactful it will be when sold in the market. So this is our table of content. First, we'll give you a brief introduction on the application, what general problem we're facing regarding the dog owner community. Then we'll tell you about some of the structures and how we implemented the application itself. Then we'll show you some of the main features that we have been working on since we started the Senior Project 1 until now. And finally, we're going to reveal our future plans for the application. Okay. Basically, our idea for the application is that we know that dogs require extensive care, and not many people know what to do with them besides feeding them and or walking them or giving them just medications. And additionally, there isn't much impactful applications or any other resources that will help the dog owner community know what to do when they take care of their dogs. So we proposed the solution, our application Fetch, so that this application has many necessary features that dog owner needs to know to take care of the dog. Some of them include, but not limited to feeding, breeding, and medication. And the other features that are not presented there are compensated in URL codes. In other words, in other resources, other text resources, articles, so that they know what to do.
Second of all, the structure and security. First of all, we decided to use Flutter because Flutter is a compiler that helps us run, debug, and test on a cross-platform using only one project. Currently, we're using Android and iOS for our application, and it's compatible for both devices. Second of all, the database. It's a hybrid structured database combined of Firebase and Superbase. Firebase is used for the authentications for the users and login system. Superbase is the full database with containing all the data that is needed for the user. All the communications to the backend and everything is done through Superbase. Okay, for the security layer, we have two layers of security. First is the browser generator. It's the main gate for the application to access any page. So any user will have to press a button or go back to another page, will be passed first to the browser generator, validated every data about it, and then granted the access. And then through individual submissions of every data before being submitted to the database, we validate the data, the user authenticity, and the criteria that are validated for each user. In this way, we mainly secure all data that reaches our database. Our application is dog-oriented, so we try to minimize the user information. So the only way a user can find another user's information is when they get a pet match or a pet mate match. Other than that, all the data visualized in the application are the pet's data. No any data about the user, phone number, email. Nothing of this is appearing to the user. Features.
Okay, so for the registration process, the first part is the user sign up and login. When the user sign ups, he is required to put his email and choose a password, and then he is sent a verification email to his email, and then he verifies his account. For the pet registration, the user has to take a photo of their pet, which is then verified through machine learning API, which is called the dog API, as we're going to see now in the video. Here, a picture is gonna be taken of the dog. The app checks, and then the app verifies it. Then you move on to the pet registration part.
So the second thing is the pet passport. Once the user registers his pet, he has the ability to add a passport to his pet account. This passport is a proof for the vaccines that he have chosen. This passport is later on will be used to be reviewed by other users to validate the authenticity of the vaccines that the pet had throughout the photos of the passport. We can see a demo for that. So the user takes a photo and starts to take all the photos of the pages of the pet's passport. Once these photos are done, our system compiles them in a PDF and uploads it to our server. And then it will be visible to other users on the other end. Next thing is the automatic pet match. Automatic pet match is the feature that helps the user choose a pet, and we will automatically find his mate according to the pets registered in our database. If the user didn't find the pet or any pet match, he can then he will be prompted to use the manual search. So here there's only one match. You can send them a request, can choose the pet, and the user cannot send a request except if the breed is the same breed with opposite gender. If he chooses a pet that doesn't have a mating choice, he'll be prompted to use the manual search, which gives us to the next slide. The manual pet search. This manual pet search is an advanced search for the user to find and filter all the pets in our database. He can filter the pets by age, gender, or the breed. He can choose any limit of breeds, or he can select all breeds. Can also filter them by distance, nearest or farthest. Here he filtered it with a pet. Here we are filtering with the farthest. Okay. Then once the user sends the notification or sends the request to another pet, in the other end, the user gets the notification. It's a built-in notification system. It's not already right now push notification, so the user will have to enter the application to find the notification. Once he gets the notification, he can tap on it, accept or decline the pet. And once the user accepts the pet, he'll have granted the owner information, and then he can have WhatsApp, phone call, or copy the phone number. He declined the request, he will no end will have the owner information. And user verification. This is an extra step. This step is prompted for the user after registration. It helps the community to be more safe. It's a two-step process with a national ID. He takes a photo of the national ID. We analyze this national ID through an OCR API service. And then once it's valid, we take him to the next step, which he takes a selfie. And then we compare the faces of the photo ID and the selfie. If this passed, then the user will be a verified user, and all of his pets will have the valid emblem or the verified emblem beside their profile. This is the first step. He takes a photo of his ID. And he'll be granted to access. And we have tried with different faces, different people, to make sure that it actually works. But I have fast forwarded it because it sometimes takes time between 40 seconds to 1 minute. Once he's done, he's verified, and all his pets are also verified.
Okay, another feature we added is the reminders feature. It's just basically having a to-do list with all the tasks that you can choose from. There is a task for feed, there's a task for the vet, there's a task for walking. You just choose the day and the time, and then you add the reminder. And after the time of the reminder has passed, the reminder automatically gets slashed. Here we choose the day and we choose the time. You would just type the task name and notes if there are any. Then you choose the task type, time of the task, and then you choose the day. Then it gets added.
So Explore is one of the features in our app. Explore initially displays a map using a Google Maps API. Given that the user has services and has allowed our app to do. Summarize, Explore has two core functionalities. Purpose is informing users about. Second is Meets. Its purpose is connecting the dog owner community events through organizing events. For our first functionality, locations, there are three types of locations that we have in Explore. Pets, pet stores, and dog parks. Data for these locations is received from Google Maps API and is stored in our database. These locations are displayed on our Explore page on the map in the shape of markers. They're displayed on the map according to their coordinates, according to their actual locations. And when each of these markers is clicked, an info window appears displaying all the information of this location. Type, its address, available any contact information. So basically these locations can be filtered through two methods. The first is a regular search bar, which filters according to user input, but it filters through the locations that are supported by our database. The second method is using shortcut buttons. There are 4 shortcut buttons. 3 of them depend on the 3 types of our locations that I mentioned before: the vets, the pet stores, and the dog parks. So if we click on the vets button, it only displays pet locations. So as we can see here, this is the initial display of Explore. All locations are visible through a generic marker. But if I clicked on the vets shortcut button, the vets appear with their own marker icon. And this is the info window when one of them is clicked. And the same process is repeated with other patient types. So moving on to the second functionality, which is meets. So to summarize, meets are events. Their purpose is to connect the dog owner community by organizing events where other users can join and attend through our platform. Any user can create a meet. Create a meet, user must fill in the relevant information about this meet. For example, giving it a name, a description, tell potential attendees more about the event, selecting where exactly the meet is taking place and when it's taking place, date and time. There also has the option to limit the meet to a amount of breeds or according to dog size, small, medium, or large, or all three at once, or only two of them. This is the process of creating a meet. So as we can see, the meets shortcut button is selected. The available meets are displayed on the map. This is the process of joining a meet. So I clicked on the join meet button, and then I selected available pets that I have as a user that fits the criteria of this meet to join. Like I said, joining meets, all the available meets are displayed on the map. Info window, when the marker is clicked, displays all the information about this meet. User has the option to join this meet, but the user is unable to join if none of the user's pets fit the meet criteria, which is breeds allowed into this meet. Welcome, and these are the pets that fit the.
Our main purpose and objective when we implemented the articles feature is to have useful articles that help the user learn more about the pet's needs. Also, to make it easy for the user to find articles, we categorized the articles into four: breed, feed, health, and training. We added buttons on top of the articles page. By clicking on them, the user can switch between different articles types. We also implemented a search bar functionality to help in the navigation through the article and to help the dog owners search for their desired article. In order to display the articles in the application, we used web scraping technique by creating a function called get website data that takes the source website link that we're using in our application and parse each article's title, URL, and image URL using HTML tags. So no database were required for the articles feature. Then we created a scrollable list that display the extracted image next to the title, and the extracted URL is used to open the article inside our app. Our future plan is to expand the article feature more by adding more article sources, since at this phase we're only using one source. Also, we're planning to add filter to the search bar to help more in the navigation through the articles. And here is the demo. At the top, there's the categorized buttons that I talked about, and the user scrolls down to look for the desired article. Then the link is opened in the application. Then the user used the search bar to look for the specific article.
Our final page is the user profile page. While this app is a dog-oriented app, there is still a need for a user profile page. The user profile page contains the image and the name of the user, his email, and his phone number. And you can see the orange icon there is that he has verified his account. That was through the process that my colleague Steven explained, where he takes the photo of his national ID and the selfie. So now his account is verified. Through this page, you can navigate to the edit profile, where you can change the mentioned details, or you could navigate to the settings, where you can change your email address, your password, and your location settings in case you want to turn off your location, and you can log out. So our future plans, while this semester is over and our thesis project is over, we still wish to continue working on this project. So we have a few more features that we want to implement.
such as the friend system, where users can add or remove dog friends, and these friends will be between pets, they won't be between users. We also want to implement the recommendation system, where the user will have the ability to recommend people, places, and meets. Then we're going to set our application out for the testing phase. And based on the results we get from the testing, we want to fix and tweak these results, fix and tweak our application, and then release the full app for the dog community. So based on this, we want to discuss our empowerment outcomes. So our main empowerment outcome was the community development, the community deployment, I mean, where we have a near complete implementation, that our application is available for the dog community, and it unites the whole dog community. However, this is not enough for us to continue working on the application and continue updating it. So we also have to be using our product, using our application as a product, where we can implement some premium features and advertisements that will help motivate us to continue working on the project. Thank you, and we'd like to dedicate a special thanks to our advisor, Dr. Cherif Salama.